Hi, it's Gadget UK here again. I'm doing a conversion of this bootleg. I've taken the ROMs off here already. You can see on the second board here I've not quite got through all of these. I'll show you some of the chips that I took off. They are, yeah, definitely boots. You know, these MX. I don't know if they're the 64 megabit chips. They're probably not. Might be a bit smaller, but that's typically the ones you can get that fit on these adapters, and that's what they're useful for. But yeah, this was a Neo Bomberman boot, so I need to take the remaining character chips off here. Obviously I can reuse those. I've got the feeling the 1 meg, those they could be half a meg. Now I think about it, because they're not 42 pin, are they? Probably half a meg those. Yeah, get the rest of the chips off there. You can see I've got the M1 and the S1 off here. I've just programmed those already. Got a 27C010 to go in that the M1 spot, and a 27C1000D 27C1000A, I think it is, to go in the S1 spot. I'm waiting on some 2 and 4 megabit. I suspect this particular board, this is the Char 42G3. From what I understand, this is the 128 megabit version of the Char 256, so it's not going to take 4 meg chips, it'll take 2 meg chips, and I'll have to fill every single one of the slots there with 2 meg chips, so no idea how I need to arrange those, because the ROM images are 4 meg. It's important to know actually I own this game from the Wii shop. It's a game I bought a long while back. So that's that. So I'm going to get these 2 chips onto that board now, and then I'm also waiting for, on this board I need a couple of 2 meg chips for the sound. Not sure if it goes in V1 and V3 or V1 and V2. It would make more sense to be V1 and V2. It's just that the way this was arranged before, I think it was like I'm trying to think, there was larger chips in those 2 slots and a smaller one there, which is a bit weird because I think there's a 4 meg VROM for this, so I'm not sure how that works. Yeah, what else? And the program ROM again is, I think it's 2 1 megs I need for this. I can't remember. I think it's 2 meg in total, so I'll need to put 2 1 meg chips on there. Not sure how easy that's going to be, or whether this board will even support it. I guess it probably will. I don't. You can see that this one's a Prog GSC. Anyway, I'll get those chips on this board to start with, and hopefully it'll be a bit lighter. Well, it will be. I'll be doing the next bit during the day. Sorry, this is a bit dark here, but the rest of the video should be hopefully during the day. As you can see here now, just programming the chip. It's actually doing the verify. Doing the P1 and the P2 first. What I've done is split the, I think it's a 2 meg P1 image, split it to 2 1 meg images, and I'm just burning those 2 27C800s at the moment. Right, so a bit of progress here. Following morning, I couldn't really do much last night. It was going dark. I need to clean this board up because I need to clean all the solder up on these the points where chips have been removed and stuff previously. So I'll do that later with some flux and some desolder braid. I need to clean off a flux off the 3 chips I've fitted on here. So as you can see, I thought that'd be quite funny actually. Someone just sent me one of these. It was free with something I got from Japan, a little skull and crossbones there, so I thought I'd stick that on there anyway. It just makes a nice little EEPROM cover. One of the things I did with this, I talked previously about splitting the, I think it's a 2 meg, yeah, it's 2 meg P1 image over 2 1 meg chips, and I started running into problems with that. I think it will support 2 1 meg chips. I think at that point it's perhaps because I had the this chip missing, the LS08. So you can see it's a bit of a mess. That I've still got flux on it. I haven't got rid of the excess solder and stuff. I'll do that in a minute once I've tested this. But I did test the P1 last night and that works. I've got a 2 meg chip on there now, so that's a 27C160, and the jumper positions have been shifting around a bit as well. So that jumper there is a bit misaligned and there's a bit of solder on it. So I'll straighten that up, get rid of the excess solder, and there's a bit of extra solder sort of left over there as well. But yeah, as that stands now, I think that should work. I've got 2 2 meg V chips, V1 and V2. So I've split the 4 meg. The lower half is in the first chip, and the upper half is in the second chip. And I know the P1 is okay because I booted this cart last night and checked with the did the checks from check. and it came out all okay. With the two 1 meg chips, I did the checksum check, and I only got the first bank okay, the second bank wasn't. And I think it's probably because I had that LSO8 missing at that point, and it wasn't selecting the second chip properly. The jumpers were correct, but yeah, I don't know enough about, you know, the workings of this to understand exactly what was going on, but I could spend time reversing it to work it out. It's not that complex, this particular cart. So as you can see on the top board, this is what I tested with previously, and that's all you need to get going. You've got your S, which will give you your text, so you can see your checksum and stuff, and test your music in the jukebox player, and your M1, which obviously you need to go with the V chips here, test the music. So that's what I'm going to do now. Connect this all up, test the checksum again, and then just play some of the music tracks, make sure they sound okay. And then the final step here, after I clean this board up, is to get the C chips on here, and I've got one of those programming at the moment, and I've done the same thing with those. I've got 4 meg chip, the images are 4 meg, you know, the ROMs, and the split, the lower half will go in the first slot, C1 there, so the lower half of C1 goes in there, and I think the upper half goes in C2, if I remember rightly. I can't remember, I'll need to look at I did work this out based on the Bomberman boot that was on here. I looked at the size of the originating ROMs, looked how they'd split them into 2 meg ROMs for this cart, and then I worked out where, because I think they were numbered on top, so it was easy to work out how they distribute them across the board. And I did do some checks on the multimeter actually, just to check the connectivity here and how this is wired, and I think I've probably got it right, and hopefully I should hit it first time. But we'll just connect this up now and I'll just show you. Right, so as you can see, or hear rather, we've got sound there. I'm guessing, now I won't see anything because there's no graphics. You can see the text there, level credit, that's all looking good, that sounds good. So I think that's okay. So for reboot, and I go into the BIOS here. If we do the CRC check, sorry, it's not coming out very well. This is the focus, the brightness there is a bit. We'll just try and reposition the camera at a different angle. I don't know if that's going to help. Probably not. It looks very washed out on the screen because the brightness level is not very good at all. But as you can see, hopefully there, the first one is okay, the second one's okay, and this is not used, not used. So if I press C to go back, God, the brightness is really bad there. Go to the jukebox player. Let's just go through some of these. That's the title music we already heard. Sounds okay to me. That sounds alright as well, I think. Yeah, that sounded sweet. What we're listening for here is just, you know, abnormalities. It's sounding, you know, really bad for the PCM, crackling, just incorrect, you know, unusual. But that sounds okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, you can hear the individual instruments there for some of the drums and things. Yeah, that's sweet. So get the C-ROMs onto that other board, and I'll perhaps just summarise what I did and which versions of boards I've used to make this game work. Just a quick tip here, before you solder these onto the board, sometimes, as I mentioned, these EEPROMs have not been used, you know, in a long time. They've been sat on the shelf. So just get yourself a piece of really, really fine grit sandpaper and just very gently just go over the contacts like this, you know, for maybe 30 seconds to a minute on both sides, you know, the inside and the outside. You'll just save yourself a whole lot of pain when you get messy solder joints where you just get like bubbles and it doesn't want to join. Even with good quality flux, you just can't get it to adhere, and you're just getting rid of any contaminants and oxidization off the top of these just by gently doing this. You don't need to spend too long. That's probably enough now, I think. Just be careful because you don't want to bend them. There is a chance of damaging these with static this way, I guess, so you might want to wear an anti-static wrist mat or something while you're doing it. I don't know, you're probably still going to get the static anyway because the contact's between the pins, but yeah, I'll verify this again in a minute before I stick it on. But I've just tried one like this and it went on a lot easier than the previous two did, that's for sure, so it's worth doing that. So we're just going to test halfway now. As you can see, I've got 4 ROMs on here. I did previously test, I've not filmed it, but just for the first 2, and you get half of some of the title images, you know, like where the Saurus logo is and stuff. So I'm guessing that now we've got the C2 equivalent on there, that 4 meg, 2 meg chips there, that hopefully the Saurus logo at least should be complete. So this is another good test, and then I've got a couple more chips on the way. I'll just stick on this. So there you go, we've got the Neo Geo logo looking perfectly alright. Skip that if we can. Oh, we're in MVS mode at the moment. Right, so you see there's some graphics there that aren't quite right. May need to change the jumpers on this board yet as well. Something I've not checked. You can see the Saurus logo there now. That's correct. So that's looking all right. Just need to get these remaining ROMs in. You can see part of the ship there. That's looking a lot better than before. There was nothing previously, and there was nothing here previously either. Sweet. So here's the final result on this board here. You can see I've cleaned it up with some isoprop. We've got good solder contacts all on the, on every single chip there, and I've got rid of all of the flux. Cleaned it top side and bottom side as well. The other thing I've done to this, and you might have to do this on the same, on another card if you're going to do one of these conversions yourself, is add the SMD 100 nanofarad cap there to PC14. And the one over here to PC7, those were missing. The ones in between were okay, but yeah, it's probably because the original board didn't have that number of chips, the volume of chips that are on there now. The other thing I'll notice about this, can you see this warp? This board's warped, so yeah, it'll strain up a bit once it's inside the cart slot, but in the cart rather. But yeah, it's a little bit annoying that it's the top side of the board's warped. The cart edge is pretty straight there. It's just this back side of it, but as you can see it's looking pretty clean, and I've got all the EEPROM windows covered up and stuff. Just need to quickly clean the edge connectors on both of these boards before I connect this up now for a final test, but hopefully that's going to be okay. And I showed you this board already, this one's all okay. Like I said, cleaned up that one as well, so looking really tidy, and that's had a new LSO8 on there because there was no LSO8 on this particular board, and it did have to move one of the jumpers there as well, so that's that. Let's give it a try. So here we go. Yeah, that's looking alright so far. Not sure if that flickering effect is normal or what. Just let it run into demo mode, see what happens. It's looking alright. You notice it's in Spanish there. That might just be a case of which is changing in the soft dips or the menu option, the actual options, I don't know. Playing this in AES mode at the moment. Let's start it. Let's do easy. It's looking alright. Sweet, I think that's working alright. Sweet. Not playing very well here. Just keep pressing these things. Just get to this first boss. Shoot, the controls are here. I'm not sure if you can hold down the fire to build up the charge or not. I don't think you can. I think it's repeatedly hit the fire button. Tracking him down, I think. What I think I'll probably do, I'm not going to show it in this video, but what I think I'll do now is test this with infinite credits or something. Let's just see what cheats there are actually. Play all the way through it. It's always a good idea if you do a conversion like this, just to go through the whole thing, just make sure everything looks alright. So you've got infinite credits or infinite energy. Let's do infinite energy. I guess that means you can probably fly into things and not die, I guess. Yeah, there's no reason to think that there would be any problem with this now, because I know I've got the, well, I'm pretty sure I've got the ROMs in the right positions. Sound's alright, graphics are alright, and the checksum's alright. Let's just check that one final time actually in the menu here. Check the checksum. Just have a quick look at the jukebox stuff. What's that? Console, CRC. I'll check out the soft dips actually as well, just see if we can change the language. That's looking alright. Yep. Yeah, you said language, default language is in Spanish there. I don't think you can change that. Yeah, you can, English. Difficulty level 4. What's interesting is, even though I've got it in AES mode, it still picks up that, and I'm guessing if I load this now, even though it's going to boot into AES mode, it's probably going to be on English now, I would think. Can't remember where the text came up now. Was it when I started the game? I think it was. There you go, yeah, it's in English now. Just a quick update here, this is the following day. I swapped out the P1. I'll just show you if I just boot back into the BIOS, soft reboot. It's got a different CRC now. I've gone with the US version of this. It was patched, I think, on the US version. CRC check. I'll perhaps put the old checksums overlaid on the top of the screen here when I edit this video. But hopefully you should see we've got different checksums. They're still okay, so Raz has obviously added these checksums in as well into the universe, so he knows, you know, the two different revisions, well, at least two different revisions. I think there's another prototype floating around as well, so there's 3 or 4 I would think. But anyway, yeah, the net result of that is that flickering is not quite as bad on the title screen there. But my understanding, just to have any think about it, I think that's probably designed for like CRT displays. So I think if you view it on a CRT, where you get that flicker and you get more of a dither sort of effect, or almost not really transparent, but yeah, I mean it's still there. But I did a bit of research as well, and it seems that, you know, that's well known. Everyone's seen this before. That's not something that I've done wrong on this particular implementation. It's just the way the game is. And it only does it on that bit on the intro. But as I say, if you view that on a CRT, I'm pretty sure that'd be alright. It might even be that they're trying to get like a line that goes down the screen as it flickers, so you get a sort of a dithered sort of effect with a line that scrolls from top to bottom, I guess. And on a CRT, I think that would look pretty sweet, but yeah, just one of the problems of using an LCD, I guess. Be interested to know if any of you guys out there have already got this and you've got it on a CRT, to see how that looks. But yeah, this is really good. I played all the way through it. so it does work end to end. It does get pretty hard towards the end. You know, it starts off really easy, but there are some insane bits where quite a lot of stuff comes from behind, which makes it quite difficult. And now I've got used to the controls on this, I know what the hell I'm doing. It's surprising how much more fun it is. You know, you get that little force thing on the front that like you do with R-Type. You know, I think you can hold down the power button, the fire button, and eject, and it'll sort of like do an attack. And you press the B button to suck it back in, or you can press the B button to release it. And you can also hold the B button to pull it back in, but you don't have to pull it all the way, so I can leave it out there like that, it'll stay out there. If I want to pull it back a bit, just press B a bit, and I can pull it further back, so that's actually really cool. It's very strategic, you've got to, you know, use it strategically on certain enemies and things, and obviously it makes a difference which weapon you've got. I mean, at the moment that thing's not got the best weapon. So as you can see, there's a label, so I'm all done now. Thanks for watching, I'll see you soon.